Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this weekend reflections on this, the 30th of March 2025. I hope you are well wherever you are tuning into this from. And before I go any further, I would like to wish you all a very happy and blessed Eid. Eid Mubarak. May Allah accept all of our prayers, our fasts, our devotions, our charity, and everything that we've done during this holy month of Ramadan. And may Allah bless us and our families, forgive us for our sins, and grant us the best of rewards. Today, I would like to share a few words from this book, 50 Days, the Divine Disclosures During a Holy Sufi Seclusion by the late Shaykh Hisham Kabbani. And reason being is we've been through this month of Ramadan and we've been fasting, we've been praying, and Shaitan has been locked up during this holy month. But it's important that we don't forget as we go forward what we've learned during this holy month. And Mawlana Shaykh Hisham mentioned in this book, may Allah guide us to learn humbleness. That is how they guide you in seclusion through such meditations, to understand the reality of all things. We can expand on it without end. This will reveal to us an understanding that we are helpless and cannot do anything. Today, the whole world is drunk with oil. Everything runs on it. Anywhere you want to go, you must use oil. Angels consider oil the worst element, but humans find it the best because it is coming from Iblis. And Allah knows best the wisdom behind what is happening. To escape satanic whispers and satanic drunkenness, one must be humble, and that is very difficult. For example, someone says something which you strongly disagree. You immediately jump in their face with an answer, and this comes from the ego. If you were to think a little bit, you might remain silent. And Mawlana Shaykh Hisham discussed the heart's boiling pots. There are two pots in the heart. Obviously, this is metaphorical, but it has a reality to it. There are two pots in the heart. One pot is good and one pot is evil. The one that is good is peaceful and tranquil, mutma'inna. It is always stable. The other one is bubbling with force, amara. It is forceful. When you hear something that you do not like, the forceful self jumps quickly to respond. It does not let the peaceful self to take it in, to digest it, and then to give an answer. So based on this understanding, do not answer quickly. It is a sign of our bad character when we jump quickly and fight back. When we answer from that boiling pot, the other pot is simmering on a low flame. Meat that is cooked like that becomes tender. If you cook it rapidly over a hot fire, it becomes tough like plastic. One pot yields answers that are hard to chew and swallow. The other is accommodating and easy. In the beginning of this test, Iblis, the devil, tried to be accommodating, but in the end he blew his lid and said, I am better than him. So there's two aspects which are within our hearts. One aspect is good. It will listen, can be patient. even if it hears things which are difficult to cope with, difficult to understand, it can remain calm. And the other aspect is one that's forceful. Mawlana Shaykh Hisham is comparing these to pots that you're cooking on a stove. And we have to be careful how we manage these aspects of our heart. Sometimes there are times when we do need to be a bit more forthright, when we do need to act. But in many situations, it's better to remain calm, to listen, to reflect before jumping in. The action of jumping too much and being aggressive is an aspect which comes from our lower nature. And Sheikh Hisham continues, humility defeats shaitan. All these powers by which Iblis is trying to catch human beings will drop when you express humility. This means when you express the real taste of true humility, not simply expressing it by tongue. Claiming humility by mouth is easy, but true humbleness is not by word of mouth. Rather, it is by action. That does not come until the heart is boiling from the love of Allah. Ishq, infatuation with divine love, that makes the lid of the heart to shake, like the lid of a teapot on the fire. In order to bring that humbleness out, because as much as you are in a state of infatuation to the divine presence, as much as you feel you are nothing, you are nothing. There is no presence and no existence to you. Existence is for Allah alone and of the entire creation that Allah created. The only one that exists in that creation, the one who is responsible for all creation, is Muhammadan Rasulullah. So who are you to compare yourself to anyone else? Rather, you must always see yourself as lower than everyone. That's how to train yourself, how to know you are inferior to everyone else. It might be that Allah makes you superior, but you have to show your ego. You are nothing. You don't deserve the honor. And this is what Allah opened to Sheikh Bayazid al-Bistami when he was seeking and begging Allah, open for me your door. He heard a heavenly voice saying, what did you do for me? He called out, I am praying and fasting and worshipping for you, following the sunnah of your prophet. He did not say, I know. People today say, I know in response to anything they are told. If that arrogance emerges in your daily life, what would happen if you say that in the presence of Allah? And that's why in seclusions, they teach you not to do that. Now, this is a very hard lesson for people to take in today's world. But if you think about it, the wisdom that Sheikh Hisham is highlighting here is a lot of people think a lot of themselves. If we think a lot of ourselves, when we're in a conversation with someone else and they say something which we do not like, then that can really get to us in a very big way. And if we allow that to happen, then we can become aggressive. And if we become aggressive and they become aggressive, you just have a big fight. There is no peace that can come from that. A lot of people today are talking about peace, especially with recent events that have been happening in the world and are still going on. But if we want peace, how can you create peace by being aggressive all the time? How can you get that peace if you do not listen to the other person, even if you don't like what they're saying? Maybe especially if you don't like what they're saying. And this is the wisdom behind this. We must not think any of us are better than anyone else. We are all created by Allah. We're all human beings. And some of us may be more educated, some of us may be less educated. Some of us might come from a better background and have had more opportunities and advantages, and others won't have that. But that doesn't mean any of us are better than anyone else. And as soon as we start to think that, that's when we lose the connection to Allah. That's when shaitan and a lower nature, a ego, get to us. And that's when everything just becomes a mess. So as we go forward, and again, I wish you all a very happy and blessed Eid. Let's not forget these lessons that we've learned during the holy month of Ramadan. Islam is not a religion that's only for 1 month of the year. The blessings come in Ramadan, but we're supposed to carry those blessings with us throughout the whole year and throughout the rest of our lives. So may Allah help us all to do that. May Allah bless you all. And I wish you have a really wonderful Eid. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of God be with you all.